Ray Dalio anticipates a significant wealth transfer and foresees escalating internal conflicts. As economic dynamics shift, he warns of far-reaching consequences. In a world poised for change, what role will this wealth transfer play? And how will societies grapple with rising internal tensions? Dalio's predictions raise questions about the future landscape of wealth and societal harmony, leaving us on the edge of anticipation for what lies ahead. Ray Dalio, as the creator of Bridgewater, holds a significant position in the financial world. The fact that Bridgewater is the largest hedge fund globally highlights its importance. Dalio's link with Bridgewater gives him special knowledge about how the economy and stock market work, thanks to the broad impact of the fund. Bridgewater's standing as the foremost hedge fund means it has a lot of influence and plays a big role in financial matters worldwide. Dalio, being the founder, is in a unique position to understand the details of how economics and stock markets function. This is because Bridgewater is involved in a wide range of financial activities on a global scale. Dalio's connection with Bridgewater allows him to see and understand a lot about how money, investments, and economies interact. This insight is valuable because it helps him make informed observations and predictions about financial trends. So when people talk about Ray Dalio's views on the economy, they often refer to his unique position at the helm of the largest hedge fund and the insights that come with it. Ray Dalio, a notable financial figure, describes the great wealth transfer as a rare and significant occurrence, happening only once in a century. He believes that this event will have lasting effects. The key aspect of this shift is its profound impact on the economy, contributing to its strength and resilience. The noteworthy element is the substantial transfer of wealth from the government to the private sector. In simple terms, imagine it's a big change that happens very infrequently, like a once-in-a-lifetime event. Dalio sees this change as having a long-lasting influence, meaning it will affect things for a considerable time. What makes it so important is its role in making the economy strong. He points out that a lot of money and resources are moving from the government, which represents the collective resources of the country, to private businesses and individuals. This transfer, according to Dalio, is like a giant shift in wealth that doesn't happen often. It's like rearranging how money and resources are distributed in the economy. And this rearrangement, he believes, plays a crucial role in making the overall economic system robust and resilient. So in a sense, he's highlighting a rare and impactful event that is reshaping the financial landscape and contributing to the strength of the economy. Faced with significant economic challenges, the US government and the Federal Reserve implemented extraordinary measures to mitigate the impact. These interventions were aimed at stabilizing the economy and providing relief to individuals and businesses. Initially, interest rates were significantly slashed to zero as a strategic measure to enhance affordability of borrowing for both businesses and individuals. This proactive step aimed to invigorate economic activity by fostering increased spending and investment. Concurrently, the government implemented a strategy of direct cash payments to citizens, colloquially known as stimulus checks. This involved disbursing financial aid directly to individuals to mitigate economic hardships and stimulate consumption. The primary objective was to infuse liquidity into households, thereby bolstering consumer spending and alleviating financial strains during a particularly challenging period. By reducing interest rates, the government sought to incentivize borrowing and consequently boost investment in sectors such as real estate and business expansion. This approach was driven by the belief that lower interest rates would lead to increased spending, thereby fostering economic growth. In tandem, direct cash payments to citizens aimed to address immediate financial needs, providing a safety net for individuals facing economic uncertainties. The combination of these measures reflected a comprehensive strategy to navigate and mitigate the economic challenges of the time, aiming to stabilize and rejuvenate the overall financial landscape. Recognizing the strain on workforce and unemployment benefits were enhanced. This involved increasing the financial support provided to those who lost their jobs, offering a crucial safety net for individuals facing economic hardships. To alleviate the financial pressure on businesses and individuals, certain debt payments were temporarily halted. This temporary relief allowed borrowers to navigate the economic downturn without the immediate burden of meeting their debt obligations. Overall, these interventions constituted an unprecedented and multifaceted approach to address the economic challenges at hand. The combination of measures sought to create a supportive environment for economic recovery, safeguarding both individuals and broader economic landscape. To strengthen the economy, the government purposefully increased its deficit, leading to a significant rise in the national debt. This intentional approach was part of a strategy to transfer wealth from the government to the private sector. The government achieved this by borrowing substantial amounts, running into trillions of dollars, and directing these funds towards households and businesses. Essentially, a deficit occurs when a government spends more money than it receives through taxes. In this case, the deliberate decision to escalate the deficit involved borrowing large sums of money. This borrowed money was then distributed to individuals and businesses, injecting financial resources into the private sector. Imagine the government as a kind of financial intermediary, taking on debt to provide a boost to the broader economy. By doing so, the government aimed to support citizens and businesses during challenging times, fostering economic growth. However, this approach led to a noteworthy increase in the national debt, a sum of money that the government owes. This strategy, while helping stimulate economic activity, has implications for the government's financial health. The increased debt is a long-term commitment that will require attention and careful management in the future. The government's intention was to fortify the private sector, but the ramifications of this deliberate move will unfold over time. As American households experienced historic highs in their financial standing with robust balance sheets and wealth accumulation, the United States government found itself facing a less optimistic scenario. The government's fiscal health declined as deficits soared and debt levels reached unprecedented heights. In simpler terms, imagine American households as individuals who manage their money exceptionally well, accumulating wealth and maintaining strong financial positions. On the flip side, the government, like a big entity managing the country's finances, struggled with overspending and accumulating debt. While families were thriving financially, the government was grappling with the challenges of spending more money than it had coming in, leading to what's known as a budget deficit. This deficit compelled the government to borrow vast sums, resulting in a substantial increase in the overall national debt. In the recent economic landscape, we've seen a fascinating scenario unfold. On one side, everyday people experience financial prosperity, witnessing a flourishing of wealth. However, on the other side of the coin, the government was navigating choppy financial waters. The persistent deficit and the mounting burden of debt posed significant challenges for government finances. This creates a unique economic dynamic where individual prosperity coexists with governmental financial struggles. Dalio, seasoned financial expert and founder of the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater, is sounding a note of caution. He expressed concern about potential long-term consequences of what he calls the great wealth transfer governments. Over time, may grapple with substantial challenges dealing with increasing deficit and the rising cost of servicing their debt. There is a worry that this could set off a self-perpetuating debt spiral, a situation where the government's debt keeps growing uncontrollably. There is a real risk that governments might find themselves in a debt spiral if deficits continue to pile up. This could lead to two things: either interest rates skyrocket, making it expensive for the government to borrow, or central banks need to step in more aggressively to manage the situation. To tackle the debt issues, governments might resort to printing more money. While this can temporarily ease financial strains, it introduces inflationary pressures and benefits those who already hold substantial financial assets. For policymakers, the challenge is intricate. They need to strike a delicate balance between measures that prevent deflation, a decrease in the general price level of goods and services, and those that avoid inflation, a general increase in prices. The looming risk emphasizes the need for collaboration between governments and central banks to effectively manage the growing burden of debt while maintaining stability. In the complex world of economics, every decision comes with trade-offs. While the wealth transfer initially spurred economic growth and individual prosperity, it also comes with costs that will eventually need to be repaired. In this economic narrative, Dalio's expertise, shaped by his role at Bridgewater, becomes crucial. Like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the evolving economic dynamics and expert perspectives shaping our financial future. Stay tuned as we navigate the uncertainties and opportunities on this economic journey together.